What's good, guys? We are back again with another video. Today we're going to be talking about the M style body kit on the Acura RSX, or the Honda Integra if you live in other parts of the world. But this is known as, of course, the Mugen kit on these cars, or on this chassis. I want to show you guys kind of what the body panels look like on the replica ones. Obviously everything will differ depending on who made it, and there's a freaking plane destroying my video. Like I was saying before I was interrupted, I want to show you guys what the body panels are like, the gaps and whatnot, so you guys can see in depth of what it's like to own this kit, and as well as what to expect when you buy this kit, whether you buy everything or miss and match parts or whatnot. It is true what they say, there is gap everywhere. But if you take it to a reputable body shop, or however you pronounce that word, I am more than sure that they can work with you and get these body panels fitting correctly. Now there are things that I am aware that I can fix. I didn't get to it because I was kind of in a rush into trying to get the car to where it's at now. Looking back now, I kind of wish I hadn't been rushing, and that is a way of life, unfortunately. As you guys can see, if you guys have been keeping up with this car, I wrapped the car in 3M something gloss white. I don't remember the actual color name, but I'll post it down below actually if you guys want to buy this. But yeah, so I wrapped the car in white. I got the hood literally like 2 days ago, and I still have to wrap the hood, but it's been raining like every day in Florida, so I haven't had time to do it because I don't have a garage. So but yeah, that will be wrapped soon. But anyways, let's actually dive into the video. I don't want to keep you guys here too long. It's just going to be something nice and quick. The car is very dirty as it sat today and it rained, and I literally took it out just for this video. So I should have cleaned the car for you guys, but I didn't because I'm very lazy, so I am so sorry. Nonetheless, I'm going to show you guys what everything looks like, and we're going to start with the bumper, the most obvious part of this car, or the most iconic part of this car. Starting on the biggest part as to why, or the biggest reason as to why this bumper never fits correctly, I want to say, at least for mine. This corner here and this corner here. Right now on this side of the bumper, what's not allowing this gap to be filled properly would be this. And I don't know if you guys can sort of see, or if you guys can make it out, but this is hitting the headlight, so it's not allowing the bumper to go up the extra centimeters that it needs to be able to reach the headlight and have the perfect gap. Now the other one, if you can tell, you can actually see that the hood and the bumper don't have the perfect gap either, for this reason. On this side though, you can see the gap because of this, because it's hitting the headlight here, but it's also not letting this go up enough, and this is not letting it go in enough. So I have the gap here simply because of this, and you can actually see where the wrap got messed up right there. You can sort of see that. So that, I would say, is the biggest reason why the fitment on these body, or at least this bumper, is not great. All right, so another thing with this bumper, when you order it, and comes right out of the box with no holes. So if you want to mount it just like your OEM bumper, the only hole that's actually on this bumper would be the one for the radiator cap. Other than that, those push tabs, or whatever you call them, that are actually located, of course, on the grill, you would have to make your own holes, and I'm actually using zip ties. So moving on to the hood, which I just got like a few days ago. This hood is very light, as you would expect, and the fitment is also not great, because as you can see right here, it is not the same length as the fender. Honestly, I think I could maybe push it forward a little bit, but as you can see here, it's almost on par with the fender. But the hood also sits kind of low. So if you notice, I don't know, yep, you can kind of see it right there. The hood goes lower than the actual fender. They don't actually go up at the same length or the same height. So that part sucks, but it is what it is. Other than that, I kind of see imperfection here, but that's something that can of course be fixed at a body shop. And the hood is also a lot shorter on this side than it is over there. Honestly, maybe I can play with it with the bolts. Once I loosen them, I can maybe kind of position the hood better, but nonetheless it is a lot shorter on this side than it is over there. And then here it's almost on par with the fender as well. Maybe I can push it forward a little bit, but I'll just have to do with what I can. When I bought it off the previous owner, he told me he had to make holes, that it already had holes previously for the bolts, but he had to make new ones, and then it was a pain, but he got it to work. Thankfully I didn't buy a new one where I had to deal with that. I just put mine on and it worked. This gap here sucks, unfortunately. You can actually see it here. The hood is not open, the hood is closed, and it does flap a lot. So I would actually use those hood pins. I don't like them, I don't want them, but if I want to save my windshield from getting cracked one day with the hood flopping open, because I don't trust that latch, then I'm gonna have to use those hood pins. This may be a deal breaker for you. This would have been a deal breaker for me. For the price I got it for, I couldn't say no, I just did it. All right, so moving on from the hood, we're gonna go over to the side skirts. Before you buy these side skirts, you need to know that you do need to have your OEM side skirts for the car. Whether it's Type S or base, it does not matter. You just need your side skirts on the car, because these will mount to those side skirts. So what I did on mine, I used one screw at the bottom to go on the OEM side skirt, and then another screw, self-tapping or whatever it's called, to go on the chassis, the metal part of the car. Same thing on the front, because if you just put two here at the bottom, you're just plastic on plastic. That will work, of course, but I'd rather have one on the metal, one on the plastic. Same thing that I did in the front. And of course I did the same thing on the other side. Now, what sucks about these side skirts is my car's a mess, so don't judge me on that. One thing that sucks about these side skirts is that they hit when the door closes, always hits on the side skirt. You will see here where you will see here, that is the door messing up the wrap that is on the side skirt and scratching it, because the door hits every single time. So when you put it on, try to get a friend to kind of push it down to where it's really tight on the body, but it also tight on top of the side skirt where it sits or it rests, so that the door doesn't damage it completely. Now, the fitment on these is not bad actually, if you push them in enough. The fitment on here is not too bad, and I actually ended up putting some double-sided tape in there so that they don't stick out too much. Other than that, the side skirts are actually not that bad. You have a bit of gap over here in the corner, simply just because it is fiberglass, just like the bumper and the hood. They do sell some poly ones, I want to say, which are obviously more flexible. If you can get your hands on those, you are golden. Those will probably won't even have the door situation. Now let's move on over to the rear. The Mugen rear lip is actually beautiful. I like it. The sides I don't, but I have it to complete the front. I mean, to complete the whole kit, of course. Now, this rear lip is actually one of the most wanted parts for this car. Just about any DC5 has this freaking rear lip. It's kind of annoying, but I understand why they do it. It's a really good looking rear. I mean, it makes the car pop. But anyways, we're not here for that. We're here to see how it fits. So I used just one screw. That's more than enough. You can use two. I actually used to have two, but it also kind of makes it flex weird. So I just put one and then some double-sided tape to go alongside. Now, what does suck is the gap that you get. It is horrible, it's disgusting, and I hate it. But it is fiberglass, so you're gonna get that problem. The gap sucks, but you can use the whatever it is that seal that they use for body kits or wide bodies, you can use on this. I've seen a few people do it, so, but nonetheless the fitment is not too bad, but it is really bad. It works. I mean, when you stand far, obviously you won't see it. This is a camera, but even in person it's not that bad. But yeah, obviously if you use that seal thing, it's a lot better. And that's about it. That's probably one of the easiest parts to install in the car. Now, one thing I did not say is the fact that I did not buy the rear lip and the side skirt new. I'm sorry, I should have said that. So I don't know if it comes with holes or at least some sort of markings for the holes to where you would need to drill your holes. So you're just gonna have to put it on and kind of guess as to where you want it to sit and then drill the holes from there. So you're going to need a friend to install these parts. Now, moving on to the wing. One of the other hardest parts to get, because the front bumper and this wing are hard to get simply because they are stupid expensive. This wing is a little floppy, I'm not gonna lie, more than I would want it to, but it's not that bad. Now in GTA, I've driven fairly fast with the car and the wing doesn't, you know, rattle or, you know, vibrate or anything, at least not that I've seen. But if you do push on it, it's a little, you know, flimsy. Now it is fiberglass as well, just like every other part on the car. So that part does suck. So it is also very heavy. So keep in mind when you open your hatch. Now I should note that I did not get this wing new either. It was secondhand. I bought it off one of my buddies. So it does have the holes. I'm pretty sure they were there when he got it because they're threaded. So who knows, maybe they weren't. He might have had to do the threads himself, but I don't think he had to. The fitment is actually good, but then again, I'm not sure what the fitment should be on this wing. The one thing that bothers me is that gap. Who knows if it's like that on the OEM one. I've never seen an OEM wing or an OEM Mugen wing up close. So I don't know what to really expect with this wing other than it's a bit floppy. And I'm sure that the OEM one is actually carbon fiber. But other than that, the fitment on this, I want to say is really good, simply because, like I said, I have nothing else to base it off of. But yeah, other than that, that is the full Mugen setup on this car. I made this video simply because I've never seen anybody talk about all these body parts or these body panels in depth, or how the fitment looks, or just anything about them. Actually, one video shows you what the body panels are like, or what the gap is, and that was for the bumper. So yeah, that is just about it for today, and hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you found it informative, if that's even a word. And if you have any questions, throw them down below and I will do my best to answer it. Or you guys can DM me on Instagram, which might be a little bit better for you. YouTube doesn't always give me a notification for comments or whatever. So it might be a little easier to reach me on Instagram. But other than that, if you guys want me to talk about anything else on the car, go ahead and let me know down below as well, and I'll go ahead and make a video on it. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Go ahead and hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, or if it helped you out with anything. Also, hit the subscribe button if you guys don't want to miss anything else, and definitely hit the notification bell so that you know when I drop another video. I also dropped a video before this one, and it was a video on my new exhaust. So if you want to know what that exhaust sounds like and see if that might be your next purchase, then go ahead and watch that video. I'll throw it somewhere in here. So don't forget to like and subscribe, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Take it easy.